Okay, so I am sitting here at my school. Yes, I am sick. Normally by now, well, even by 7:30, this parking slot right in front of me is usually full. So you can see there are empty spots. Right in front of me, of course, is where the UNM vehicles park. Why they get privilege, I don't know. But even right next to me, this is usually full by 7:30 when I am getting on the bus to head down to my classes, which is on the other side of campus. Right behind me usually is full. And as you can see, it is completely empty. Now, my question is, you see the roads. Uh, right across from where I'm at, which I don't know how far I can zoom in, but when you see that car waiting to turn in, there are two guys standing across the street, which are UNM employees. One of them right now is throwing salt on the ground, whereas the other guy that was just out was using a sand blower or a leaf blower to move the snow, which consequently is creating more of a mess. So I'm currently right now sitting in the car waiting. I've been here since about 7:40, and I have another 15 minutes before the bus comes to pick me up. Unfortunately, the curse of parking and medical parking and having to take the bus down to my class. Even across the street, usually, there's more cars than just that one. So I am waiting. School has put on a 2-hour delay. What has me more pissed off is the fact that CNM, which is a good 5-minute drive from UNM, has been closed. And yet UNM has not. So I am going to go for that UNM wants to kill their students. Because this is fucking ridiculous. These roads are still iced. The guy was even out here shoveling. As you can see, he didn't do that much of a job because there's still snow all over the place. Yes, he put salt down, but, well, doesn't look like it's really clearing much off. So, my complaint, my heavy complaint right now is, why the fuck is UNM still making their students come to school when the roads are this bad? People are sliding as they're walking. There is a guy right now, which I'm trying to focus on him. You can barely see him. He's walking. He somehow injured himself years ago, so he walks with a limp. And, you see him crossing the street where it's icy still. And it boggles me the fact that UNM is still making their students come to school. There are snow drifts going on right now. My mom actually didn't even want me to drive in the snow because this is the first time ever driving in conditions like this. And I would have gone to go park by where my class is at, but it's all paid parking. See, UNM has this thing called a parking permit. They are pointless. That's the way I see them. And that's the way I'm always going to see them. For one reason and one reason only. You have to park only in your designated area. You can't park anywhere else. If you want to park at a meter, you have to pay, of course. You park in a garage, you have to pay. And there's so many people that go to different areas of UNM, since UNM is so huge. I mean, right across the street, that's the law library. That's our new appeals court for UNM Law School. That's the Da Vinci Center, which Da Vinci is pretty famous. That is one of the new buildings that was built for the medical school. But basically, this all right here from Da Vinci Center on over to over here is all medical and more further back that way. That's our medical school. And if you look in the back, you see kind of like a little tent area. That is the Richardson building. That's the new Pete's ward, which is for the kids. But this is all medical, which is where my mom used to work at. Now she works across the street by the UNM pharmacy. What does that mean for us? Well, this is what basically means. Either my mom keeps her pathetic M parking, or I have to kill myself to walk across the street to catch a bus to come to main campus. Yes, UNM knows how to screw over their employees, royally, literally. Um, so basically, I'm sitting here waiting for the bus to come. It is now 8:18, and I'm listening to the favorite station of KISS 97.3. And I am praying that UNM cancels school. Like I said, CNM canceled. They're 5 minutes away from us. And yeah, let's just pray that they do, because I don't exactly walk so good in snow. And having to take a bus down to main campus, which, by the way, you have to go down a hill and up a hill, you can kill yourself. So let's see how much UNM values their students and their employees, because right now all medical, which anybody who works either here or at the cancer center across the way by the pharmacy, which pharmacy slots will be open, they all have to be here at the regular starting time, 8 o'clock. Right now there is a guy walking, and he actually walked up the little slope that's down the ways, because no buses are running until 8:30. Normally buses run at 6:30 or 5:30. Either way, they're not running right now. You should see those snowdrifts. Wow. Pretty cool, actually. But yes, I'm sitting here bored out of my fucking mind. There comes another car. Obviously, she hasn't been in the snow much because the car's still too clean. So you can see, some of these cars are covered in snow. You can tell which ones are not in snow. The only buses that are actually running right now is the hospital buses. But I don't know how those ones work. Supposedly they can take you anywhere you need to go. But I don't know how those ones work. But yeah, the roads are still iced. They didn't really de-ice the roads this time around, which they normally do, which is unusual for New Mexico. We're usually, heavily de-iced. The roads are clear, the roads are safe, and this time they're not. So they canceled school. My mom said I can drive home. The roads are still icy. My neighbor spun out of control as she was leaving the house. Of course, she was driving a mini SUV, kind of like that white Honda right there. And she lost control, and she spun out. And she's going to let me drive home? Okay, I'm scared. Yes, I know there shouldn't be anything to be scared about, but where I live at, they don't de-ice. We're not worthy of it. And yes, it is still snowing. So that's pretty cool. I wish there would have been more snow. But my main complaint is the fact that they're using a leaf blower to blow away the snow, which is only causing more havoc, and de-icing everything. The roads are still covered in ice. I just saw one of the employees that does the busing. She became a manager. And in fact, I know who she is because I used to ride the bus with her all the time on the Rio Dondo, which is the one I take all the time. Because, well, it's the only one that comes up to medical and everywhere else around the campus. And she was driving through here with another employee, I guess, checking to see how safe the roads are since they're going to be starting in 9 minutes. And even she was driving extremely slow. Here goes one of UNM's trucks. They have a lot of ice or salt in their trucks, that way they can de-ice everything. But I'm still thinking UNM should just close the fuck down. That, or let us just park wherever we want. I know we have these stupid parking permits. They really are pointless. People park wherever the fuck they want to park. Most of the time. Of course, after 3:30, you can park anywhere on campus as long as you have a parking permit. Okay, that works. But my class starts at 3, so I kind of can't park anywhere else besides up here. There's another spot where I could go and park. Okay, check this idiot out. He's talking on his cell phone. Really? Seriously? It's fucking snowing. The roads are icy. And you're fucking talking on your phone? Okay, back to my other point. There is another parking spot that I could have parked in, but they completely blocked it off so that way they can de-ice the roads. Because, this is kind of like one of the main roads to come in and out of, and it's still icy. Parking spots covered in ice. Of course, the parking spot ahead of me, that's, clear and whatnot, that's where one of the UNM vehicles was parked. So, obviously someone moved. There's still a couple people coming now, but it's still not even full. Usually by 7:45, I would say, this whole top area where I am parked at currently is packed. You can't find parking anywhere near here. And, I mean, you can find parking pretty close. So seriously, UNM, from a student who is not only sick, but a student who values her life and other people's lives, cancel fucking school. This is ridiculous to be having classes. People come from the heights, people come from mountains, people come from Gallup, from Las Cruces, from Los Lunas, from all over New Mexico to come to school. A lot of the places have closed the roads. They can't even get out. They just closed down I-25 from Paseo del Norte up to Tramway, which, it's a heavily populated driving area, and there's always tons of accidents. They closed it down because of icy roads. They just reported that they also closed down other roads because of black ice and ice. I mean, come on, UNM. Value your students and your employees' lives over fucking money. Just cancel and close down. This is fucking ridiculous for you to continue to have school going on when the conditions are this bad. It's only 18 degrees. I've been sitting here in this car since 7:45 in this parking spot, and it's still 18 fucking degrees. Please value your student lives. I don't ask much from UNM. I never do, because it's pointless. UNM does not help out their students or employees. But, I mean, a 4x4 slides, a mini car slide, UNM employees slip and slide. Just do what's best for the students and cancel. It's kind of ridiculous that you're still making us come to school in these weathers. You can't even see the roads, you can't see the parking spots. You can't tell if you're parked correctly or if you're off. Just do what's humanely and just cancel. Right now there's a lady that just parked and she's walking into work. Right across the street where there's a single vehicle parked over there where this lady just blocked. That's kind of New Mexico's human resources, I guess you could say, for birth certificates, death, and whatnot. A lot of the medical things and whatever else you want to get. In fact, a car just parked right behind me, which usually by the time I come here and I park, within like a minute, the spot behind me is usually taken. And actually, you see those benches where that trash can is across the street? That's where I have to walk. So, I am right here in front of the law school and parking where I get dropped off at. But I have to walk all the way across the street to over there. So this should be interesting because it's all ice. I've seen people as they're walking, they're sliding, they're slipping. The road actually where that truck is going has cleared up a bit, but you can still see the ice, and it could be black ice. So this should be interesting trying to walk. I don't know what else to say besides UNM really does not care for their employees or students. So hopefully they do the right thing and close. Please, UNM, close.